Howdy, welcome to NGS Season 9. This is a fantabulous Mother's Day. We have Zombie Eradication Squad and sOaK every lane. We're going to Tomb of the Spider Queen first. First, I do want to give a special shout out to Valk's mom on this wonderful Mother's Day. Valk's mom, if you're watching, I hope it's been fantastic and Valk better have called you. sOaK, how are you doing today? Did you call your mother?
I did. I did call my mom. I was one-upped by my sister who drove up to visit her. But I talked to my mom. It was great. How about you? How's your mom?
She's
Mama
doing all
Taco?
right. She's her treatments are going well. She's doing fantastic. So it's nice to be able to see her. She even put on her good hair today.
Excellent.
I'm proud of her.
It's a good day.
Here we go. We are in draft now. Both teams are ready. Us casters are ready. They assumed. And we are looking forward to a fantastic match between sOaK Every Lane and Zombie Eradication Squad. Cincy Omen and Twong 2300, thank you for the follows. Super appreciate.
From the stat deck, you've got sOaK Every Lane is currently 5th place in B-West, and Zombie Eradication Squad is 6th place. So
this is going to be a really close match.
This should be a close match and could be a little upset or a little bit furthering. We'll see.
So, do I hear a game 3?
I think we're hoping for a game 3 here.
I'm always hoping for a game 3.
That's true. We are hoping for a game 3 here. As we're about to see the first ban coming out of sOaK Every Lane, and it is
Sonya. Huh, interesting ban. Sonya, a really good counter to a lot of the offlaners for sOaK Every Lane. I don't see the regular offlaner here, although I think he's on a rotation. But I know Sonya is usually one of sOaK Every Lane's concerns. So it's good to see a niche, not a niche ban, but not a map ban come out. A premeditated ban for the team.
Yep.
Johanna
taken away.
She has been popular. I'm excited to see. I really want to see some Deckard play and some Brightwing play. They got some really interesting buffs this past week. Artanis has a new talent that seems to be really strong right now, and so I expect to see a decent amount of Artanis.
Yeah, Deckard is. I like Deckard on this map. Artanis less so, but doesn't mean he won't show up.
Yeah, Deathwing getting banned. Deathwing an interesting. I don't know that he's very well suited for this map, but he's a good offlaner. So is Zool. Zool's really strong. The heroic games we were looking at yesterday, the day before, the Zool bans don't seem like they're enough. The Zool nerfs don't seem like they're enough. Zool's definitely worth the ban still. Definitely worth a pick if he's available. Coming from the best players in the game, that is.
Yep.
Rhaegar.
Excellent support here with great wave clear.
He's a very good support hero. I don't know that he's worth picking first pick when you could go for a map advantage.
That's true. If you were sOaK Every Lane, what would you take with your first pick here? What kind of hero?
Well, the Joe got banned. ETC, well, except the map's too small for adequate use of stage dive. Honestly, I mean, it's hard to know. There's the ETC, there's the Jaina. Jaina also really strong right now as well. It's hard to make a decision about. It's hard to feel confident about a first pick when you don't know what the map is going to be.
That's true.
We do.
DMN 13 on the Rainer here. Yeah. He has 13th most kills in the league. So we're going to see if he can keep that up with Rainer this game. He's looking
DMN
for blood.
13. Yes.
Yes. 13 to 13th.
Yeah. Mal'Ganis, a really good disrupt tank. Not going to be able to disrupt the ETC though. That's going to be an interesting dynamic. I don't know. The more of this that I watch, the more I think map pick is better, especially if there's maps that your team practices. Kael'thas standard ban coming out. I feel like they would have picked Kael'thas already if they wanted him though. So I feel like in the second round of bans, Kael'thas is a little bit of a waste.
This might be a target ban onto Tornado, who does like Kael'thas.
How was that?
This might be a ban on Tornado,
oh, okay.
who does like Kael'thas.
All right, well that's fair. Okay, I can see that. I just don't see the Rhaegar. I don't like it as a first. I like the Rhaegar pick. We got some fans in the crowd already. Oh man, Alfie on ETC. Someone ready to see some plays, especially with that Ring of Frost and Blizzard. If these are the heroes that they wanted to play, we haven't seen a whole lot of Mal'Ganis. We've seen a decent chunk of Raynor. We haven't seen a whole lot of Rhaegar. I don't think with this draft that they should have gone with the first pick. Maiev coming out, Ana coming out. We're gonna see a lot of Ana combos, or not Ana. We're gonna see a lot of Maiev combos into ETC. Jaina with the follow-up predicts right there.
Those are good predictions. We'll see if sOaK every lane takes more auto attack heroes, possibly looking for some value on Bloodlust from Rhaegar. Maybe that's the strategy here.
I would expect it with the Rhaegar pick first, but we don't. We get a Mephisto. Ooh. Mephisto also really strong right now. Mimic, very strong level 20 talent. Bloodlust improvement, a very strong level 20 talent. Wintermute, a strong level 20 talent. Death Metal, which you can take either ult and still take Death Metal at 20. We have a lot of awesome level 20 potential. I think looking at it right now, especially with the variant, this looks like a really strong team fight comp for Zombie Eradication Squad, and I think sOaK every lane is going to have to find choice opportunities. However, Mephisto can change that. Yrel can get some disrupt going, but not while stunned. It looks like Raynor is the only true interrupt for Mosh. Unless Yrel has a way of getting unstoppable, I guess from the Rhaegar, but that has to be super coordinated.
Yeah, that's interesting. Tornado, 11th highest damage, hero damage in all of NGS coming out from his Mephisto. So he's on a comfort pick, as is DM13. That's their power duo right there. The Mephisto Raynor, they've practiced it.
Okay.
I'm excited to see what those two can pull off.
All right, well, yeah, let's look for it. I did drop a poll in Twitch chat. If which team do you think drafted better, Zombie Eradication Squad or sOaK every lane? Would love to see it. Would love to see some feedback here.
I love good job on matching the capitalization of sOaK every lane there. Very important.
So the full name of the team is really sOaK every lane with SpongeBob spelling. But the with SpongeBob spelling is invisible. You know how you have silent Ks?
Oh, yeah.
You have invisible words. So
love it. Good luck. Have fun's going out in the chat. Some rock'em sock'em robots.
Battle begins in 10 seconds.
Yeah, got some rock'em sock'ems and some good luck have funs in the chat. We do have. There it is. Sorry about that, folks. Both teams coming out to the mid lane. We do go ahead and see the offlaner for Zombie Eradication Squad going down. That is the variant, along with Maiev, ETC, Ana, and Jaina coming in, going up against sOaK every lane with Mal'Ganis, Rhaegar, Raynor, Mephisto, and Yrel. Looks like Variant gonna go and get that XP lead early. We see Mephisto trying to get some poke, and a pause comes out already. Looks like a DC has occurred. Let's go ahead and check in on the poll for a minute. So far, leading by 1 vote, Zombie Eradication Squad has the better draft. And we are restarting. All right, here we go. Both teams are ready. Here's the countdown. And game on. The car has passed.
All right, we're seeing a little bit of a standoff as the red team goes up and the blue team waits, and the blue team now goes to top lane to clear that lane there.
Yeah, and down in the solo lane, Wipeout having a little bit of damage taken off of his Yrel, but getting some push onto the variant, but it looks like a solid exchange. down in the lane. Murda RG with the raid. Fantastic, man. Thank you so much. I hope you had a great match. Welcome to Zombie Eradication Squad and sOaK every lane. We just got started. This is game 1. Both teams level 2. And the gym count's roughly the same. Mephisto getting an engage on the Ana, getting some poke out. Ana grenading herself. It looks like we still have some connection issues with the Jaina. We'll see how they choose to work with that.
Yeah, this maybe is affecting the blue team's rotation here, because it looks like the red team is just established dominance of this top shrine, or top altar, excuse me.
Jaina Jaina may be watching a slideshow at this point, trying to figure out what's going on and how to help the team. Definitely hope that gets better. Maybe upgrade to PPX. But the rotation from sOaK every lane definitely on point, as they are up by over half a level. They do have the talent tier advantage. I wouldn't be surprised to try to see them force a fight and maybe abuse the connection of Jaina.
That is definitely a possibility here.
Yeah, sleepy time for Rhaegar, taking a nap thanks to the dart from Ana. And Mephisto gets some heavy damage on the Jaina. Mal'Ganis blocking for him. ETC also trying to block for the Jaina. Gets Jaina out just fine, especially with that slowing totem from Rhaegar. And we do have level 4s for both teams. And it looks like still pretty decisive. Zombie Eradication Squad with the better draft according to the chat.
Yeah, I'm really impressed here at sOaK every lane strategy. This Mal'Ganis has spent most of this match mounted, just waiting for the opportunity to interrupt the rotation or to find someone who's a little bit too slow.
Yeah, having a tank that's mounted, and not getting unnecessarily involved is huge. When you have a Garrosh able to walk in and throw, when you have an ETC able to ride up and slide, really big opportunities. So same thing for Mal'Ganis, trying to keep his mobility up for his team so that he can peel at a moment's notice instead of having to catch up to something.
Yeah, still seeing we might have some kind of connection issues affecting our Jaina player here.
Big engage in the mid lane. Maiev getting a big pull onto several of the members of sOaK every lane. Jaina walking back at half health, having a rough time. Able to pick her level 4 talent, finally. And both teams do manage to disengage. Interesting play in the bottom lane. Varian does have 20 gems. Looking for a turn-in when possible. Both teams have enough for turn-in, but there goes the turn-in for sOaK every lane. They are going to get first web weavers. Looks like they're setting up to try to push top with it. Mal'Ganis again anchoring in the bush, staying mounted, not wanting to show, not wanting to use his mana, just content to be patient and chill. So really good play coming from the Mal'Ganis. It looks like, even though we haven't seen him involved, he's definitely a deterrent.
Oh yeah, what a threat he is. If every time the blue team wants to walk by this corridor, they need to make sure they're extremely careful, as Ana gets left behind and Mal'Ganis engaged, and she's isolated from the rest of her team.
Yep, and again, so it does look like sOaK every lane is going to push this top lane. Mephisto getting a little extra damage on mid, as the mid web weaver is going to go down first. Yrel and Varian still staying in the bot lane, and worth pointing out, 3 levels too late, it is a taunt Varian. So we do want to look for him getting involved in team fights sooner rather than later. Start making use of that heavy CC, especially to be followed up with a Varian and Maiev. Just everything about Zombie Eradication Squad says CC. And so getting those picks and hard engages on the team are going to be really useful. That taunt Varian, I think, a really good choice to complement his team. So sOaK every lane, while having the advantage with pressure and experience, only a little bit of experience lead right now, is definitely they definitely have to be careful about where they fight, when they fight, and where they fight.
I think you're definitely right. We've seen a very no kills yet so far in the match. Very little damage from both teams. A lot of respect coming out of both of these two sides here.
Absolutely. I wonder how much of Zombie Eradication Squad's lack of full involvement into the game so far is because of Lean and Clean having issues. He did manage to get those gyms turned in, though, so maybe things are clearing up. We haven't seen any more chat from him, so things might just be better.
This is possibly true. Jaina 16 out of 20 on her regeneration, 17 now on a regeneration quest, but only 1600 damage on her frostbite.
Yeah,
We'll
being
see
able
if
to
that-
follow up that damage is a little hard, especially when the teams haven't been engaging at all. You don't get to cast more than one skill and hope it hits someone at the moment. We do see ultimates coming out from sOaK every lane, and we do get that Bloodlust, so we're gonna have exciting times with this Raynor and Mal'Ganis even getting some attack damage out. We're probably gonna see an engage right now, otherwise probably not till level 13. There it is. Zombie Eradication Squad does have their level 10s as well. Looks like both teams trying not to hard engage. This might be the best chance for Zombie Eradication Squad to get in, though, now that they have their full CC combo. And we do see Wintermute instead of Ring of Frost. Not Wintermute, Water Elemental. Setting up for that Wintermute at level 20. A big engage from the Mal'Ganis onto the Jaina, speaking of. And Mal'Ganis trying to get out, but he went a little too deep. All of that CC slowing him down, sleeping him. Turns at Hate goes out, catches the Maiev, spreads out to the ETC. Warden's Cage going down for protection at that point, and Mal'Ganis struggling to get out. But there he goes, thanks to the Unstoppable from Rhaegar. These Web Weavers, second set, also pushing.
In the ultimate economy, that's a 3 ults from the blue team for only 2 from the red.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
Bloodlust is still up, as is Ardent Defender.
But so is Mosh,
So is Mosh, the ultimate of ultimates.
right?
The dance party is always a threat. Varian holding this bot lane strong with 40 gems. Almost an entire turn on his own.
He really needs to turn in. Buttons are hard. How do they work? His team almost able they're able to get a turn in and a half here, and they can probably make up that half during the objective if they were to go ahead and get a turn in. sOaK every lane gonna go ahead and get some pressure in the mid lane though beforehand. They're gonna try to stall this turn, and they want to stay on Zombie Eradication Squad's side of the map as much as they can. Obviously backing off while waiting for their minions, but they definitely want to keep poking them out. As you'll see, as they all rotate up to try to disrupt this turn-in, they can't stop the 5, but they do end up stopping Maiev with the 28. A hard engage from nobody now as everybody bounces back. Varian able to get that turn-in. He turns in the last few gems that they need. They have a lot of gems left to turn in after this. A big engage. Mal'Ganis going down to about a quarter health. We hear some yelling coming out. The taunt did go from Varian. But again, nobody dies. We're at level 12. We're at just about 9 minutes into the game, and both teams, no deaths. Really interesting play, safe play from both teams. But
Yeah,
something's
most of the
gotta give.
fighting has happened. Yeah, most of the fighting has happened in this bottom lane between Varian and Yrel, where the top hero damage for both on those 2 heroes respectively.
We do see a lot
Blue
of
Web
skirmishing
Weaver
back.
falls.
Go ahead.
I just said the Blue Web Weaver falls mid.
Yeah. Bot's about to fall as well. Top has a ways to go. It's got half its health, but it's not going to get to that fort. And we do see those damage numbers, and Yrel surpassing even Mephisto in damage just because of that constant skirmishing in the bot lane like you were talking about. Lots of interesting play, and I wish I had been watching the bot lane more to see how they're playing against each other. As Yrel gets picked off with a sleep dart and a whole lot of other stuff, but Ardent Defender able to keep her alive, but she may get caught by this really determined Water Elemental. It reminds me of the drone or whatever from Spies in Disguise. I watched that last night with my wife. It will stop at nothing to hunt its target, and that's what that Water Elemental looked like.
Blue team not finding too much value on their first Web Weaver, but almost 2 in the bank here, so they could find their second and third. Varian still holding almost 50 gems all by himself. Mal'Ganis anchoring in this bush, looking for
And
spicy,
what are we going to see? That's a
tasty
big target
target.
coming from Varian and Maiev. There's the Mal'Ganis. Velclaw's out. Protection comes from the Varian as he finishes his Lion's Fang quest. And a good disrupt from Mal'Ganis. Still trying to keep it going, though. Varian really wants to get this turn in. Doesn't want to die with those gems. And we are going to see the fight. We see so many ultimates. Hyperion, Warden's Cage. There goes the Mosh Pit. Mal'Ganis going to fall. The Water Elemental is on cooldown again. And Yrel trying to stay alive. Rhaegar dies with Bloodlust up. And as well as Mal'Ganis also dying with Carrion Swarm up. Not going to be able to get that stasis out in time. And we do see a turn in from the Varian. second web weaver, 2 turn-ins in a row, just as big as the 2 turn-ins from sOaK every lane. And they are going up to the top lane to try to clear it out. They do want to get that wave pushed as far as possible before this weaver comes out. Otherwise, it's just going to drop right here, basically where their fort is. But now it's going to push out out to the middle of the lane, get a little bit more progress on it before it starts losing that continuous health.
Yeah, these lanes have been pretty pushed from the red team. So we'll see if blue can get value here. But if they don't, they are already carrying that 3rd turn-in. We'll see if they can completely swing this momentum around right here.
And that is what they need, especially after the problem with Jaina having connectivity. Let's check on that quest. She is done with Frostbite now. Probably a little while ago. We missed it with all the action and the decided premeditated inaction from both teams. There's a lot going on, so her finishing that quest did kind of sneak in. Both teams do have level 13s. We see the Bloodlust go out. Mephisto causing a lot of lightning novas. Protect comes out from the Very, and both teams do kind of disengage. Bloodlust still running, and I know it has fallen off now. Not a whole lot of value out of that Bloodlust this time. Raynor probably looking to get damage in and just couldn't quite get to it.
Yeah, we'll see that this bottom web weaver will get taken out before it gets too much damage on this wall, so the teams will be at a relative structural equality. But oh, Tornado looking to get some damage up here on the variant.
He does get a little bit of harass and a little bit of CC, but he does bounce back to his shade just fine, able to get out of there like something pun shadows related.
Like smoke and mirrors.
Sure.
You can't catch him.
There you go.
Okay, red team opting to take their camp while blue team will secure their 3rd turn-in
In a row. Holy crap, a triple turn-in going to be big, but Mephisto having other plans gets to disrupt. Mal'Ganis getting pulled back, but Varian's still going to get the turn-in.
Big carrion swarm, big Durant of Hate.
Warden's Cage keeping not Maev alive. Maev and Jaina going to fall to the Mal'Ganis, the Carrion Swarm saving his life in a big, big way. That's going to be a big swing for sOaK every lane coming into this 3rd objective from Zombie Eradication Squad. Able to get some clear and really take down these web weavers without a whole lot of fight from Zombie Eradication Squad.
Yeah, I think you're right. We'll see if what red team can do now with still Maev and Jaina being down.
Yep. We see
Tornado getting some more damage on this web weaver.
All right, both teams are fully alive, and so it is now 2-2 as far as the kills go. Again, these kills still not very frequent, but we do see them kind of in clumps.
Definitely 2 big team fights to note on this down in this bottom of the map.
Mal'Ganis does get caught by the ETC, but he's able to sleep on out of there. Sleeps everybody, and then the big Jurors of Hate coming out from the Mephisto to secure the disengage. A big route to help his team get away. Not able to follow it up, but I don't think they really intend to. But Mephisto does jump in, try to get some harass out, force Ana to use some mana. Ana's mana would definitely be the great name for a magic shop.
This is true. We're seeing in the damage department, we have Tornado with 33,000 damage, topping the charts here as he's passed Yrel.
Well, during these team fights, that's to be expected.
This is true. This is true. We've changed the way the map's been played. Leaning clean, just behind him with 32,000 damage.
But look at how many gems sOaK every lane has. They have 99 gems, and they're fairly well dispersed across the team, which is really what you like to see, except for the fact that it takes people out of commission for the turn-in. It also means there's a lot lower risk on any one hero dying. They do have 49 of those turned in now. Looking for their 3rd objective of the game as well. Yrel trying to escape, same as Mal'Ganis. Mephisto does jump in to kind of harass them off of his team. And we see Zombie Eradication Squad looking to get some gems in the bank. But Ana behind on the engage. Mal'Ganis going in, forces the parry out of the variant. Mephisto trying to get a big burst damage onto Jaina. As the blizzard comes out, where he's gonna land, he has to get out of there, and he does. He does have the reset on Trickery, or on Shade of Mephisto rather. Pop out some more damage, come back to his team safely, and a lot of nothing out of all of that.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
a couple of small skirmishes, but it looks like neither team really wants to commit to that full 5-on-5 fight for any extended fashion. Ults used very sparingly. Both teams still just kind of feeling each other out, it seems, in this game number 1 of this series.
Yeah, and you know, it's really good strategy. Staying alive is really the best thing you can do. A trade is always bad, or almost always bad, unless there's like a quest you're disrupting or something like that. Rhaegar able to finish the turn-in down in the bot lane, or the bottom turn-in to help out his team. They are going to get their web weavers. But yeah, both teams staying alive, really good as far as their play goes, really bad for TV.
Yes, and if we look at this web weaver phase, interestingly enough, the red web weavers are all pushed to the red side of the map.
Yeah, that's
Every web weaver is just a response rather than a continuing aggression. But as I say that,
Dirts of Hate goes out, catches the EDC and the Maiev. Maiev able to bounce out. Mosh pit, 4-man mosh. Holy cow, that's huge. Bloodlust to help with the escape. Raynor able to turn it. There goes the Hyperion. Slept sleepy Mal'Ganis. Mephisto trying to get some damage out, but he bounces back to the shade, not able to get him more down. That web weaver falls. No one dies in that fight. I want my money back.
Tornado going in, making sure that you don't get your money back, but again, won't find any lasting kill.
I don't get my money back, but he still can't cash it in. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yes.
Thank you.
He'd rather owe it to you than cheat you out of it.
Oh, okay. These web weavers getting worn down fairly methodically, just from top to bottom. Mega Muffins saying that was a sad mosh. I thought it was a really good mosh. It was just a very sad follow-up. Definitely wanted to see more out of it. However, overall, yes, a sad fight. Sad fight indeed.
Okay, red team is looking for their double turn in here. They're looking at the boss. They have level 20s. They're saying this has been an even game so far, but we're looking to end right now.
So this turn in will give them advantage on the boss. Looks like they're gonna try to. No, they are gonna back off of it. Back off is the call. They don't know where anybody on the other team is. Are they coming in for the gank? They do let the boss reset. Looks like they go back in it, but they don't know. Oh, that's not what I want to see. There it is. They don't know where the other team is. And I didn't press my buttons right, so I can't show you the vision the way I wanted to. Let's take a look at there we go. Can I see vision? There. We have no idea where the enemy team is as they get the boss, so that disengage for that reason. Enemy team, it was coming up close. Zombie Eradication Squad trying to come in, but they don't get to the boss in time. So that's going to be a boss pushing with web weavers. This is a web weaver advantage for sOaK every lane. They do have their Storm talent tier advantage. Never mind, both teams have Storm talent tiers. I will show you talents as this push ensues. We're gonna see some deaths right here. It's gotta happen, otherwise it's game with no pushback. Go ahead.
Tornado jumping in, looking for a kill, but will be zoned by that Winter Mute Water Elemental. Yrel jumps in, but she backs out. Team looks like they're turning, they're chasing, but they're gonna back out again.
Dirts of Hate seems to just fizzle out.
Yeah, the boss is pretty healthy, but the web weavers fall. The boss pushes the core, while the red team circles to this middle keep.
Yeah, they are gonna try to push this keep. We do see some of the strongest level 20s in the game coming out. We see Gladiator's Workout. We see, Unspeakable Horror instead of Mimic coming out from Mephisto. And we see Wintermute on the Jaina. Wintermute and Gladiator's Workout, two of what I call the 4 strongest level 20s in the game. Mephisto having the option to go for the third one, but deciding to go for the improved ultimate. However, that silence is going to be big. It'll stop. That's another mosh interrupt, so I understand it. It also stops the Jaina. Maiev can't do any pulls or anything like that as part of it. So it's a big ultimate for him. Silences are huge. So we might have to revise the list a little bit and look at Dirts of Hate improvement, Unspeakable Horror as part of that list.
Yeah, you know, we just saw a web weaver pushing on core, a boss and web weaver pushing on core, and still two kills, 21 minutes into this game 1, and both teams are just in and out and in and out.
Yeah, sOaK every lane trying to stop this turn, and Varian really wants to get it. They have they have 9 more gems than they need for this turn-in. 9, I mean 11. Math is hard. So, sOaK Every Lane trying to get this interrupt because the next Web Weaver phase is going to be huge, but sOaK Every Lane has time to stall as they do have a keep down and they're only missing 1 fort. So, Zombie Eradication Squad has to fall back and defend. Otherwise, we're looking at Winions.
Mephisto,
And nothing to see here.
Tornado jumps in, Wipeout jumps in. They both come on back out. Mal'Ganis drinks a little bit of blood, but says, I've had my fill, and he jumps out. We're seeing 2 healthy teams, 22 minutes into this game, and not a lot's happened. Although throughout all of this, Zombie Eradication Squad has lost a keep, and their core has taken 5% damage, but other than that, this has been a very slow game. But the longer this goes on, the more advantage sOaK Every Lane continues to gain.
Yeah, I'm gonna translate that into 5 words as translated through the HOTS translator, and that's nothing to see here, folks. As we get another non-engage coming from the Mephisto. He does get slept though as he returns back to his shadow. And we see a tank fight in the middle. There's a slide. We see Umbral Bind come out from the Maiev. And there's a kill! Big taunt on the Mephisto. He's not able to carry on Swarm. Oh, yeah, it gets interrupted as he tries to cast it. And Mephisto's gonna fall. Kill advantage to Zombie Eradication Squad by 1 or 50%. And a big taunt again onto Tornado. Mephisto gonna fall. Now the kill count, Zombie Eradication Squad twice as much as sOaK Every Lane.
Yeah, ZES showing their teamfight prowess with twice as many kills as sOaK Every Lane.
That's big many more.
That is
Twice
big
as
many
many.
more, establishing their big many more here at 23.5 minutes.
Yep, and they are trying to take their man advantage and push into this fort. I say man advantage because Jaina did go down to the bottom lane, so it's a 4 pushing into 3 and a fort. So yeah, they're going to see what they can do. They also get their Web Weavers turned in. These Web Weavers, mainly a defensive Web Weaver, and there's a pause as Jaina disconnects.
Oof. What a game. What a game we've had here. You know, blue team does have Web Weavers coming down, but if we look again on the map, blue has the Web Weavers, but red has the lanes pushed out. This has been the story of this game. Web Weavers when the lanes are on the opposite side.
Yeah, it looks like we do have a reconnect from the Jaina. That is, yeah. So
Yep.
this top and bottom Web Weaver mainly defensive. This middle Web Weaver might be able to push a fort or a keep rather, based off of how Zombie Eradication Squad is positioned on the map. sOaK Every Lane still down 2 people. But Mal'Ganis will be back up in time to help defend. Mephisto will not. This keep might go down. And that could be a big turn for Zombie Eradication Squad. However, that top Web Weaver going to fall very fast, and those catapults might push in.
You're right. If blue team's gonna make something happen, I think you're right here that this is their chance. Take the momentum they have, knock down this wall, knock down this keep, and hopefully get some of these get a kill or 2 and look to end here at 25 minutes. The heroes can take the core.
Yeah, so I do want to point out in chat, Mega Muffin Hots, a pause, time for a Wipeout to give his inspiring pep talk as he rallies his team into victory. So definitely some coaching or moral coaching coming from the Twitch chat, and that's really nice to see. Really good to see involvement from the audience, whether it's former teammates, fans of the team, etc. Definitely got people cheering on in the audience. We do looks.
Man, my heart goes out to this blue team here. With I imagine the stress that they're going through with these tactical difficulties, knowing that they need Jaina to close out this game. They need this to make this happen here.
Yeah, all right, both teams are ready. Looks like we are going to come out of this pause. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And here we go. So Mal'Ganis going to be up in time to defend. Mephisto not. Keep an eye on that top lane as this mid lane gets pushed in on sOaK every lane. Wipeout, I hope he got time to get his speech in.
Oh no.
And oh no, Jaina DC again. Jaina,
But she's back.
And gone and back again and gone. And oh my Lanta, this is unfortunate. I don't know if they have any pauses left at this point for season rules. They might be having to play with the AI. Fortunately, able to get Wintermute already. So AI Jaina still has all the right talents.
Oof. And I think our big shot that they had with that red web weaver middle falls, or blue web weaver, excuse me, falls.
Yep, it is not going to get that push. They did get the health fountain, however. Merely consolation prize at this point. LaNe Clean is reconnected again, standing there on the top. Oh, able to move in time as Mephisto comes a hunting. And let's hope that he can stay connected. Otherwise, we might be seeing a sub next game.
Yeah. You know, both teams, after this objective phase ends, walk away with nearly full health and full mana.
Which is just like kick in the teeth to see, honestly. Like, please fight, guys. If for no other reason than for entertainment value.
Yeah, tensions are building. I think we're going to see one... There's two ways this is going to go. A colossal 5-man wipe for either side at this point, or catapults are going to kill Blue's core as they continue to build up strength, as we now are into 25, going on 26-minute game.
Yeah, the stall is still in favor of sOaK every lane. They do have the level advantage despite being down by 50% in kills. Really interested to see how this engage goes. Bruiser Camp stolen, but not at the cost of a lot. Jordans of Hate goes out, silencing the Maiev and the ETC. Neither one able to escape. Bloodlust comes out. That's going to last a long time for the Rhaegar. Rhaegar really low. Jaina getting picked off by the Yrel. ETC does escape, actually. Variant getting womboed as far as CC goes, and he's going to melt to the Rainer as well. That's a lot of gems lost. That's a lot of kills, or a lot of damage picked up for Jim Rainer, and sOaK every lane gonna go for the big Jim, the core.
Yeah, you know, blue team not really respecting the red team's territory there, as they're punished for it, and they now have 3 heroes down for the next 30 seconds, as blue team is going to get free core damage and likely can end the game here.
That Bruiser Camp was a really big steal if they could have gotten it out, but Mephisto saw it and they didn't disengage. That Jordans of Hate was a huge engage in a very choke pointy spot, and that core is going to go down. It's at less than 30%. We see a big mosh come out, but it's not going to get everybody. Rainer going to finish off the core. And we are going to have a little bit longer in between these two games, as we are going to have an equipment restart for Zombie Eradication Squad.
Yeah, tough Tornado there at the end, expressing his condolences. That was tough. That was tough for our blue team here.
Yeah, a very interesting. I would have liked to see how that worked out with a connected Jaina. Of course, we want to see the game. We want to see the game played by the best that both teams can bring. And when you're watching a slideshow, it's a little bit harder to do that. But sOaK every lane still played it really well, even though they were down. They ended up 5 kills to 4 by the end. They were down in kills coming up to that, but they were ahead at XP, I believe, the entire game. So that was, let's take a look at XP as well. Yes, Yrel just dominating the XP game. Jaina ending up passing Varian in XP, which it's also interesting to note that Jaina and Varian both had more than anybody else on sOaK every lane other than the Yrel. But the Yrel, also the passive XP from all of those buildings, really big for sOaK every lane.
Definitely. Wow, what a game. You don't often see a 25-minute game with only 9 total kills.
Right, and that's something I would expect to see at I mean, this is B division. Oh, thank you, Slexia, for the posture check. I appreciate it. I need it because because
Showing off your
memes.
jammies.
I know, right? Hey, they're Zelda. They count. Going through these talents, these level 10s and 20s, we do see a really aggressive playstyle coming from sOaK every lane, but we see a lot of hard potential coming out of Zombie Eradication Squad. sOaK every lane just able to execute it better in general. It doesn't help that, like, do you see this? That's my chair's in the like upright position, and look how much room there is in the back. That's one of my first upgrades is this chair, so that it'll help me with my posture. But again, Slexia, thank you again for the check. My back hurts.
Yeah, wow, that game. I'm trying to think of other things we can talk about there. It was
I'm really surprised at Jaina's numbers though, coming from the bad position that she was in from a technical standpoint. The way that Jaina played, very very present for the team. I'm not sure. Again, so the entirety of chat basically. Well, it was a fairly even split, but general consensus was that Zombie Eradication Squad had the. Oh, hang on, that's not right. That's not right. Cursed Hollow, Ultrec Pass, Dragonshire, Towers of Doom. Cursed Hollow. Oh, that's not it. That was awkward. Speaking of technical difficulties. So, I forgot what I was saying.
you were saying you were listing maps. You were saying
Oh.
you're about to tell us some great knowledge.
Yeah, so when you see a Tomb of the Spider Queen picked, or Spidershire as it should be known as, it's a really aggressive map in general. So I think Zombie Eradication Squad drafted for that as well, for plays around the turn in, for being able to clear out the waves fairly well. Jaina, just a really big clear hero. The Varian and the ETC really present, not a whole lot of clear. The Maiev has decent clear. I don't know that I think they drafted really well for the fights around it, for as aggressive as the map is. I don't know that they drafted well for the clear, but then again, I'm not sure that sOaK Every Lane did much better on that front, but their survivability really showed through, their disengage really shined through, and so overall, it came down to execution, and sOaK Every Lane succeeded. Obviously, they came out with the W, and I think that's a big W for them, especially coming off of a rough loss last week. I think it's going to carry some momentum. While Jaina had the disconnect issues, I don't think that affects the momentum for sOaK Every Lane. But Zombie Eradication Squad definitely has the opportunity to say, all right, we have our full team, and now we're ready to play. So I think both teams will have some momentum going for them coming into the second game.
Yeah, I think Zombie Eradication Squad's going to come back with a vengeance on this second map of Infernal Shrines.
Yes, we are going to Infernal Shrines, and it looks like Zombie Eradication Squad did first pick, so sOaK Every Lane with the map pick of Infernal Shrines. Oh, and we see a little bit of technical explanations coming out in the lobby. Lean and Clean seems to have resolved his issues, deciding to go for a hardwire connection instead of the Wi-Fi.
I'm going to call that fake news. I don't think that's the guy. There's no way.
I'd be willing to believe it. I don't actually have a network card on this desktop, but when I used to play on my laptop, which was top of the line at the time, and now it's just a really poor paperweight, it doesn't even do that well. it I would forget about connection sometimes, and I'd play on the Wi-Fi. It happens. Even when you have a connector somewhere, it happens. I'm I'm gonna choose to believe it, and if it's fake news, well, then I'm not gonna go any farther.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. All right, we got both teams in it after that incredibly long game number 1.
Yep.
We just had someone leave the lobby.
Oh no, I do hope they come back. How were they? Were they part of the?
I think that was Lean
No.
and Clean.
No, Lean and Clean's in there. It looked like a stray person, someone looking for a home.
Oh.
I do. So Infernal Shrines, I think I think Infernal Shrines is a map that favors sOaK Every Lane's playstyle. I think that, which is, I mean, they had the map pick, so that makes sense. I'm interested to see the first pick of Zombie Eradication Squad, because again, like we talk about every time that the team chooses first pick, you have to have something that you are planning to grab as that first pick. Otherwise, why?
Yeah, I think as we're looking at this, both teams, Zombie Eradication Squad won on Infernal Shrines against Bronze 6. sOaK Every Lane, they beat Nanode Abathur here on Infernal Shrines, but they lost to Arrogant Nephilim on Infernal Shrines. That being said, Arrogant Nephilim being the top team in the division, maybe that has something to do with this, but both teams have won on this map, so we'll see. So both teams probably going to feel pretty confident going into this year.
Absolutely. So they've showed how they play, which is cautious. They respect each other. They look for those right engages. I don't think either team's going to play sloppily. However, they're gonna play hard. I expect to see the same kind of play style coming from both teams, and so I think this game really comes down to the draft.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised here if one or both teams just goes for a really aggressive, like way more aggressive than last game. They kind of felt each other out. They might have seen something that says, all right, we're going to go all dive, or we're going to go for a tower cheese or something here. Seeing that the long game, it can just be a coin flip to who wins it. I imagine both teams want to take control.
Yeah, first ban does go out to Joanna, really good area tank, really good ban here. I want to respectfully disagree on the idea of a cheese. I think there's a lot of risk involved with the cheese, and I think both teams have enough, not respect in a way of, well, I like these guys, so I'm not going to cheese them, but like enough respect for the ability to, of the other team to respond to a cheese, to either or do a counter push or something. I feel like whichever team would decide to cheese will get punished for it, and but at the same time, they're valid strats. You get a Sylvanas runner down to the bot lane with the team. You can get a lot of progress out of it. As long as you get the disengage in time, it can do a lot of good things for you. But at what cost?
Yeah, maybe we'll have another standard 25-minute game. We'll see how
standard
these teams want to
25-minute
play.
game. Okay.
Well, I mean that's what we saw last time. It was like nothing crazy, just a lot of in and out.
If we get to the point where we're not getting any kills, we'll start at least getting excited for minion kills and things like that.
This is true,
because there's got to be some excitement. And while there was a lot of micro play, a lot of meta play going on, good strategy is hard to get excited about unless it results in some bloodshed. So we'll see what happens. There's a respect ban out on the Mephisto. Sonya does get picked up. Big first pick hero for Infernal Shrines. There's the first pick they were looking for. You knew he was on it already because that lock happened almost instantaneously. And let's see how SEL responds to the hero that they first banned last game. They still like the Rhaegar.
Again, yeah.
Are we going to see a large minion ban?
You know, that's a possibility. They did take it out. They did choke it out.
We see Jaina
Um,
and Anna again coming out for
yeah.
Zombie Eradication Squad. Lean and Clean coming from the mulligan on the Jaina says, "I'm connected. I took the Fingers of Frost off of my Cat 5 cable. I'm ready to play."
Yeah,
Either
watch
that-
out. 0 ping, baby.
Yeah, either that or he said Nexus and chill. So
Both are good options. Nexus and chill. That is
What?
good.
what is this?
Mal'Ganis ban coming out for sOaK every lane. Jim Raynor wouldn't be a bad ban here. Shut a little bit of that bloodlust value down. Take away DMN13's favorite friend. Let's see what they choose in the last 4 seconds of their ban phase. Gul'dan.
Ghoul Daddy.
Ghoul Daniel taken away.
Cool Daniel, not gonna make it to Infernal Shrines. Really big area clear. Really good counter to the Jaina clear as well. Lots of dots though, which will be hard for Anna to heal back up. Really good effective damage coming out. What you chewing on there, buddy?
Oh, my pen. My note-taking pen.
Your
Again,
note-
we're seeing Urel taking wipeout. Or
Yeah.
the other way around.
Junkrat coming out for Demon 13, DMN 13. I'm gonna need a pronunciation from chat. I like the demon. Big minion, large minion coming out for Zach and Cap on Zombie Eradication Squad. He's bringing out the bayonet. Let's see how that works. Last pick coming in for sOaK every lane. Coming in with an ETC and a Urel. I expect to see some sustained damage. Junkrat's pretty magey. Looking for someone like maybe a Zul'jin? Tychus to get damage on the Muradin and the Sonya. I'm going to say like a Zul'jin still, kind of, in that he... yeah, we'll go with that.
Yeah, you gotta respect it, or else he's gonna burn you down.
Yeah, exactly. He said.
think it's,
He says, "You want bullet?"
You want bullet? Yeah, you're in something land now. I don't know. I can't. I'm not
Right.
very
All
clear.
right. So let's find out if I can get this thing done, put up here. Which team drafted better? We got Zombie Eradication Squad and sOaK every lane. Which team do you think did the better draft? Coming into this, looking at the ETC engage, Junkrat has a lot of disrupt, Urel has a lot of disrupt, and some bad timing on the team. Granted, they can coordinate it. You'll hear the mosh coming out in comms, but Junkrat, Tychus, and Urel able to really disrupt that mosh into their own team. So that's going to be interesting to see that coordination. On sOaK every lane, we do have Demon 13 on the Junkrat, Philip K on the ETC, Tornado. I can't do it as well as you can on the Tychus, Wipeout on the Urel, and Strogs on Rhaegar. What do we got over here on the blue team?
Blue team Zombie Eradication Squad has Lawlins playing Sonya, Lean and Clean on the Jaina, Alfie playing Muradin, War Maestro playing Anna, and Zach NCNP on Jimither Rainather.
Jimither Rainather. All right. So far, looks like people are liking the Zombie Eradication Squad draft a little bit better.
I lean to their draft here as well. I think it's going to be a strong clear, but also good kill potential off the shrine.
We see Sonya going up for the sOaK early, not wanting to give away too much at first, trying to get that XP lead, knowing that that's where sOaK every lane excels. Urel going ahead and rotating up, same, different faces. We get the 4v4 in the mid lane, we get a Blizzard coming out, ETC feeling the chill from Jaina. And yeah, here we go.
Both teams rotating down.
Moist Weenus with the 69 biddies. Thank you, Weenus. Keep it moist in the taco channel. Something. Let's keep. Yeah.
Finding a Muradin
As
is the red team.
Yeah, Muradin, something that did. The dwarf does go down as I struggle with my camera. So we didn't get to see the one thing we've been wanting to see all match, and that's someone die. So yeah.
Interesting. The red team neglects a wave of sOaK, but finds that hero kill.
Yeah, that's good.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say that's gonna be interesting to see how that works out. Red team is ahead on minion sOaK, however. They do have that hero kill going up. Both teams exchanging mercenaries, so XP definitely in favor for sOaK every lane by about 1,000 already. That's a pretty early advantage.
Yeah, that is. With that Muradin dead, the blue team needs to back off, and red team's able to get some free clear here.
Yeah, red team gonna try to clear out that middle lane and get their siege camp pushing, while blue team, Zombie Eradication Squad, does go for the siege camp in the bot lane. Let's see if they can get that pushing. However, red team already on the rotate down. They're not going to push with. They're going to let sOaK clear, and they're going to come down and get this clear in the bottom lane. Both teams trying to keep their structures up as opposed to going for the structure push. Both teams do have level 4. We can expect to see a fight at any time as long as a talent tier advantage doesn't really exchange. Talent tiers, best tiers, salty and sweet. Yrel back up in the top lane. Sonya comes to meet her. Does she know where she is? That question could go either way. Yrel jump in, swings the hammer back. Sonya saying, oh my, back to spinning. She must be dizzy from that hit. Bruiser,
you know,
go ahead.
I just gotta love the way that SEL is playing this rotation game, intentionally making decisions to disrupt and slow down the rotations of Zombie Eradication Squad. I mean, if you're watching this at home, that is incredible play that will slowly but surely pay off as we see them consistently in these games with an experienced lead.
Absolutely. Again, sOaK every lane is definitely sOaK every lane's forte in Heroes of the Storm, and they do that really well together as a team. Zombie Eradication Squad getting on the objective early, getting that lead by about 20 to 25% lead on the objective. Muradin taking a lot of damage though, as sOaK every lane comes in and starts to bully them out and start taking advantage. Again, both teams don't really want to engage. It looks like almost a dance on the shrine as to the exchange of the Guardians as Muradin jumps out. I Love Cats, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the show. We do see ETC also bring in some music to the fiesta with that face melt, knocking back Zombie Eradication Squad, and they are now officially in the lead on the objective as we see a brawl over bruisers between bruisers in the top lane.
Muradin found, but not taken out as he's able to dwarf toss himself to safety.
Yep. And Sonya coming in with a big whirlwind. She gets disrupted by the ETC, and the Yrel ETC getting unstoppable by the Rhaegar just in time. They do have the win on the objective as the poll does come in. Zombie Eradication Squad with the better draft according to the words.
Chat?
That's the one. No, the words in chat. According to the words in chat, Zombie Eradication. So I was still, no, you were right. It was absolutely, according to the audience, there's a lot going on. The Punisher dying. I'm trying to hold a funeral in my mind for John Cena as the Punisher goes down. And sOaK every lane does come into the bottom lane instead to start getting some push. We already have some hype for the next match tonight following this one. Die Gaming and Bronze 6 will be playing. Sonya trying to get away, but that totem from Rhaegar enough to slow her down. Tychus with the grenade going to knock her back into his team, and she's going to fall.
Here's another moment when sOaK every lane has neglected a small macro timing, in this case the siege camp, in order to secure a kill that will allow them to sOaK every lane safely and gain that advantage. I'm really liking this here. Not just following a script, but looking for ways that they can disrupt their enemies. Really strong here in this game too.
Absolutely. Definitely playing to their strengths right now and making those informed, restrained decisions as to when to take engages. However, they do get engaged on down at the bottom siege camp. Looks like they're going to try to hold on to it as they push off Zombie Eradication Squad. A really poisoned looking cow. He's probably got colic, trying to keep off the rest of the team and trying to cap the siege camp. It is dead. It is contested for cap. Bearden giving up, giving it away. He doesn't jump out in time, and he does go down. The cow saying something, beef, it's what's for dinner, except the cow saying it about the dwarf. I really need to work on these puns. I need to go through the entire roster and come up with a list of puns for everybody and all of their interactions with other heroes. I have homework.
Hard work does pay off, as we see here the red team with a level 10 advantage earlier, almost a whole level lead, and 3 kills. sOaK eVeRy LaNe done their homework and got this macro pressure down to a science here, as they're soaking and pressuring each lane.
Heroics are picked except for Sonya. We see Odin, Riptire, Mosh Pit, Ardent Defender, and Bloodlust coming out of sOaK eVeRy LaNe as they push in on this siege camp that's not ready to spawn, but they get a pick on the Raynor. Raynor going down over what looked like nothing. It's just bad positioning. Being caught out, taking the dangerous way route to a lane, and just getting caught by a death bush. So sOaK eVeRy LaNe able to get some push on this fort right before this objective. While they do that, Zombie Eradication Squad getting Leap, Water Elemental, Avatar, Nano, and Raynor's Raider. So I'm really interested in these upcoming fights. I almost want to see a Nano on the Sonya instead of the Jaina, even though I know it's not gonna happen. Thank you, Gingy Mex in the chat. The dwarf coming up short on that escape down in the bot lane. I just got schooled.
Dwarf, that is excellent. Write that one down. Put that in your book. Okay, here we got the next objective here as ETC and Junkrat making quick work of the first 9 Shrine Monkeys. With the blue team showing up with 4, they have an advantage, but Raynor and Rhaegar showing up quick with that Bloodlust. I meant Tychus.
Close enough. We do get the slide from ETC. And he gets out. Nothing really happening. Again, just a lot of exchange of Guardians. You got it, sOaK.
Yeah, this is back to our game 1 strategy of go in and then come out. But Wipeout jumps in, but looks out and goes back in. But ETC's going in for a mosh as he finds Raynor, and Junkrat drops his big bomb.
The Riptire disrupting the mosh pit. That's going to be a huge exchange. Raynor falling, ETC falling as well. That's a 1-for-1. Kills hugely in favor of sOaK eVeRy LaNe right now. XP about even. They are about to go up on a talent tier. However, they're looking really low. No health to speak of on most of the heroes. Urel gonna fall. Again, they get the Punisher in time though. This is a frozen Punisher. This is a really bad one for 3 of them to be dead for.
Yeah, a loss of opportunity here because they could have easily gotten this bottom fort. We'll see if they can still get it with the strength of the frozen Punisher. Maybe a little miscommunication between the Junkrat and the Rhaegar as Rhaegar jumped in for that last kill that Junkrat could have confirmed with his spicy orb bombs. Frozen Punisher disables the fort, but is gonna melt to that Jaina Raynor damage.
It's not often that you see the Ice Queen melting someone else, but here it goes. The Frozen Punisher falling. Must be hot ice. Angels in the outfield, anybody?
It's not since I was much younger.
Oh my goodness. The wacky trainer talking about methods. Some pitchers choose heat, some pitchers choose ice. So he goes with hot ice. He heats up the ice. Anyway, Leap out of danger from the Sonya. Sonya trying not to get caught. Urel doing her best impression, jumping forward in front of the Bruiser camp. That Hellhound definitely impressed. As Zombie Eradication Squad does pick up the bottom siege camp.
You know, after a couple of minutes here, it's now back to being fairly equal. Red team with a slight advantage in structures and in experience, but ever so slight. This game is still anyone's game, as both teams are kind of just doing the posture dance now. Oh, as I say that, ETC's going to escape, and nothing's going to happen on the bottom. As teams will just walk out with full mana, full health, and only 1 or 2 ultimates used.
That's really the story of this match, though. Really low kill count, really high damage output. As you see, we're only 10 minutes in, and both teams have over 20k damage on their lead damage. Urel jumping in, looking for an engage, gets a hammer out, able to knock back everybody, but not really get separation. It's as they're saying in chat, it really is a good matchup. This is If every match this season was like this, except for the low kill counts, I could get behind it.
As could I, but I don't think we'd ever have another doubleheader, Taco, because this one is it's a lengthy boy.
Yeah, but we do have a doubleheader tonight. Our next one is going to be in just under an hour. But let's talk about this game still. We'll talk about that in between. Riptire coming out, trying to catch up to the Jimmy Rayner. It's not going to. Redirect, gonna move the Anna closer to death. She does follow through in that. She does die. She follows through the grave. More action, please, so I can name skills instead of really awful thinking on my feet, which is usually one of my strengths.
sOaK every lane, exploiting the lack of mobility from Anna there as they separate her from her team, and she's stuck out and all by herself on an island.
Absolutely. So this next shrine is spawning. This is going to be, I believe, Molten. The first one was Arcane, right? Or was the first one Molten?
It was a Punisher. That is correct.
So this one will not be frozen. It will be whichever one we haven't seen yet. It's definitely going to be worth fighting over, as the Punisher is the objective on this map, and the objective on the map is definitely the objective of the teams, as if you get the objective is to win the game, which the objective helps with.
So this is true.
Objective.
As red team objectives to this red thing.
I
objective. I object. Red team gonna grab their bruiser, giving up a little bit of the shrine clear, but the blue team is gonna have to clear a catapult mid, so red team will be able to grab the bruiser and a shrine advantage with 5 before blue shows up.
Yes, but important to note, sOaK every lane does have that lane advantage in the middle lane. That's going to be passive XP, and this Punisher is in danger of pushing on the core. It is going to be an Arcane Punisher. It will have extra structure damage applied, and it's easy to dodge, but it's very present, very in the way, and it's persistent. The Zombie Eradication Squad is coming up to passing sOaK every lane on objective progress, but no, sOaK every lane comes back. They get a big mosh off after they kill the Muradin. The Riptire comes out. Still no one else gonna die other than the Muradin. What is wrong with you guys? Muradin, 3 deaths
deleted.
for his team.
Muradin deleted, but as ETC moshes, he took a ton of damage there, forced to just back off.
Yeah, sOaK every lane does get the Punisher. Moist Weenus, thanks again for the 69 biddies. The itty bitty bitty cheer squad. Hell yeah. That's about as much as I'm gonna say that rhymes with biddies. And this Arcane Punisher is gonna march in. It's gonna march right past this rubbled fort. Murda from the Regen squad, welcome to the area. Just in time to see this Arcane Punisher go Arcane Smash onto the Sonya. Chase the Sonya, Punisher, the keep's right there. What are you doing? Stay in the mid lane. As sOaK every lane trying to get this front wall down in order to get access to this keep. With this Punisher going to get shredded again by the Jaina. Gonna do a jump and a double stun, however. And oh my goodness, Moist Weenus redeeming the push-ups or sit-ups. I don't know that I can really adjust the camera well for it. Y'all just have to take credit or believe me, but I will grunt loudly for y'all in between games.
Interesting that if you look bottom lane, Urel's clearing a camp that Rayner was doing while that objective was pushing on their keep. So good on Rayner to know that he could get away with grabbing that camp to create a little pressure and still get back in time to clear without losing a structure there. So definitely making some strategic moves from Zombie Eradication Squad. Oh my gosh.
Oh, Riordan anchoring in the bush gets found by all 5 members of sOaK every lane. He gets caught out. He does pop Avatar at half health. He is going to stay alive, however. That's a lucky no catch for Muradin. sOaK every lane coming in strong, trying to close out this match early. In 2 games, that is. Not this game, but this match.
Yeah, and that's an ult down from Muradin that won't be ready when this next objective starts.
This next objective not even on the board yet. We know it's going to be in the bot lane. I think that's why everybody's kind of hanging out here, also to get this fort. But sOaK every lane pushing deep behind the fort in the bot lane, trying to get some progress. Muradin jumping out, tossed the dwarfs. I hear that's part of the Highland games anyway, trying to get practice in. sOaK every lane does fall back. They don't want to get too deep. They don't want to. They really don't want to overextend. They don't want to commit to something they don't think they can really secure without too much punishment. because they want the Punisher instead. They'll let the Punisher dish out the punishment instead of them having to.
Yeah, definitely made a mistake with the Muradin's avatar. It is going to be back up by the time this objective starts. But interesting here as the sOaK every lane is just controlling the map, keeping the blue team on this bottom left corner as Urel is able to double sOaK mid and top as they're getting quite close to having those level 20 heroic upgrades.
Woo, there we go.
Blue team venturing for the first time in quite a while out from that bottom fort
Yep,
as they're looking at their top bruiser camp.
Absolutely, getting this pushing during the objective is going to be big, but sOaK every lane thinking the same thing. They have catapults to help, so the red bruiser camp probably going to push a little bit better. But with the way the waves work, you never know which shaman's really going to start getting hit first, and so it's kind of a toss-up. I still think sOaK every lane has the advantage on that, though.
Yeah, I think unless Sonya clears this, unless Sonya opts to stay and clear,
And this
which might maybe what she has to do here.
looks like she's doing that, trying to get that presence back. They are down Storm Talons. They are not going to engage right now. They are down level 20s. They're about to get it. Sonya bringing in that XP difference. This is a Frozen Punisher. This one is worth fighting over, especially once they're on the same tier, which they are. So a quick
Jaina's
rundown
sneaking
before
down here on the bottom.
Oh, Jaina
Sorry, go ahead.
does get that siege camp before they start fighting, which will be any moment now. We got Big Red Button, the improvement on Odin, Cannonball, Storm Shield, Seraphim, and Gladiator's War Shout from sOaK every lane, Ignore Pain, Winter Mute, Rewind, Who Knows, and Execute coming from Zombie Eradication Squad. They choose not to engage on the objective. They can't get grouped in time. And so they're just going to have to defend. And this is a rough Punisher to defend, especially this late in the game. And sOaK every lane probably looking to end here. They do have that Bruiser Camp pushing in on them in the top lane. That Bruiser Camp going to get a lot of damage out more than likely. Sonya going up to help push instead of defend. It's going to be a 4-man defense at this keep. Zombie Eradication Squad looking for the rally. Rally caps on, folks. And Sonya coming back down. John Cena jumping the ropes, engaging. We see Odin coming out already. Odin putting out big range damage. The Punisher gonna fall down right here. That's a knockout. And Wintermute coming out already, trying to get some slows out. Gonna slow down sOaK every lane, so Zombie Eradication Squad can't engage. Look for the Dwarf Toss and the stun. Probably also the leap. We don't see craters on the leap, but the top fort does go down. Zombie Eradication Squad looking in a good position to engage, even though they're down 2 ults. They can make something happen here. They get a pick on the ETC. ETC's mosh pit coming out, but not in time to really get taken advantage of. He's gonna fall, but so does Sonya. She jumps in a little ahead of her team. They're not able to quite follow up. Bloodlust comes out. Urel going ham, goes unstoppable. Muradin dwarf tossing out. Will he make it? As they redirect onto Ana, letting Muradin run away. He does turn back in. He's going to take a lot of damage. Rhaegar also jumping in. He's looking low. 4v3 coming into the base, but watch out. It's dangerous there. Ice block coming out of the Jaina. Muradin does fall short, as we've been told, and Jaina also goes down. A full team wipe coming from sOaK every lane, and they're going to look to finish right here.
Yeah, Tornado doing a ton of damage, but I'd say Wipeout, Urel played by Wipeout, was definitely the MVP of that fight. Great body blocking, great manipulation of space, allowed for that team wipe. Excellent play there by the Urel.
This core is going to go down, and
GG coming out in chat.
GG's go out. That's the match. We see a sweep from sOaK every lane. sOaK every lane coming in at the disadvantage in this match. sOaK every lane get the turnaround, especially off of a rough week. Really good play from sOaK every lane. Really good controlled engages. They did get more kills. That was super exciting to see. They got 12 kills instead of their 5. So they did bring it for the fans. And yeah, really good play from NGS.
Excellent play out from this B-West. Looking both
from
teams
NGS from
very
sOaK every
strong.
lane. Sorry, I'm getting distracted by the chat. Good job. Good job, sOaK every lane. What do you see on the stat page that really sticks out to you, sOaK? Well, I see if I can get Torge or someone in the Discord.
Yeah, I see. You know what? 12 kills coming out from the red team, but their damage is Jaina had top damage with 61,000, but the Junkrat Tychus duo, with no deaths, but each about 48 to 46,000 damage was a lot of damage, but also just getting the kills. That their damage came quick, it came fast, it came focused, which allowed them to get those 12 kills. Sometimes the damage doesn't always tell the story here. What does tell the story, though, is that Sonya soaking and sieging, really excellent performance from Lawlins on the Sonya, keeping his team close the whole time while they were, being controlled by the rotations of the red team.
Yeah, very good presence. All right, I'll see you in one of the lobbies in Discord. Hang tight.
Oh,
Hey, Torge, glad to have you. So, as we're waiting on sOaK to get here, he might be here by now already.
NATO.
We have a so we're just coming off a fantastic sweep for sOaK every lane. Really big play, really controlled. You guys, especially the second game, didn't really have as much damage output overall you did. It was spread out between your Tychus and your Junkrat. Y'all kept control of the board really well, and but you really played cautiously. That's something we were noticing the whole time, how cautious y'all played and how effective you made most of your engages. Even if there wasn't a kill coming out of it, the way you engaged seemed like it was very well thought out.
Yeah, the second game for sure. The second game I was so excited about, like almost like basically every single one of our fights, because we, it's hard to get the Tychus in range, but we planned it out so well, and like actually getting those like sneaky bush engages or like the gank engages in the lane, and like I think we got some kills like pretty close to the wall, and having the Junkrat to also kind of like be a misdirection and a second engage with the mines was just so nice. That comp it worked really well, and I think it really wins on shrines because you just end up with so much shrine clear. I was so happy with that.
Yep, fantastic.
But yeah, we definitely
very fantastic play. You definitely showed us why you're called sOaK every lane, especially in that. Well, both games, your rotations were very on point, and sometimes y'all would wait a second on a wave, as sOaK was pointing out very well. You'd wait a second on a wave to get an engage you needed, or to get some poke out, to get a camp, and then you'd go to the lane. And so, unless you intended to interact with the other team, you were able to do your 4-man rotates without seeing each other, which worked out really well. It was really interesting to watch. But tell us about that first game, because it was really well played, and the cautious approach was really cool. But man, did you guys not fighting make for boring TV?
yeah, well, I mean, yeah, no, I agree. It's hard though, because it's just like, I mean, their team is like, as soon as you try and fight into their team, it's just like you're caged, you're water LE'd, like you're moshed. Like it was just like, as soon as you get close to them, it's kind of game over. And so I just tried to poke him out with Mephisto, and we try to control vision and not let him turn in. Yeah, I agree. We're probably more of a macro heavy team. And I think that probably showed in terms of like, only taking the fights that we exactly wanted to. But I think that, so like that last fight in game 1, when we're on the our bruiser camp, we were kind of just watching them, letting them take it and wipe out who was playing the offlane, was just like, what are we doing? Grow some balls. And so we popped R and just ran in as hard as we could.
Yeah. So really, I mean, it was really interesting to watch. The technical play was great, but so it looked like there was so much that was happening and not happening. It's really hard to talk about, but it looked like you almost ended up using Durance of Hate as a disengage most of the time instead of anything else. until it came to that catch in the bruiser camp. You bounced in, you saw them doing the bruiser camp. You couldn't stay and do the damage because you were in shade. So when you bounce out, you Endurance of Hate for the engage. You took the silence instead of Mimic, which I thought was interesting, but it worked out really well for you because it prevented their escapes, and it just melted from there. So tell us about how you go from getting the first 2 objectives to losing the next 3 to snowballing into victory and getting that fantastic fight. Tell us about kind of the mood of the team, the comms, the call making that you're willing to give, because it's still early in the season. We don't want to give away all your strategies, but just kind of walk us through that game.
Well, so I don't want to give away any secrets, but we
Right.
definitely have everyone has 4 screens with multiple spreadsheets up, and we're kind of like plotting calculations as the entire game goes. No, I mean, I think with the tower changes, it's kind of hard to gauge how you're doing, particularly because I was actually kind of worried after the first 2 objectives when we only got top keep or top fort. I mean, and then giving them, I mean, they got 3 turn-ins in a row, but they didn't really get much off of them. With Mephisto, Wave Clear, and Raynor Exterminator, everything died pretty quickly, and I think they were a little bit hesitant to engage into us for some reason. I mean, even when we turned in and got top boss at the same time and 20, like we got a keep, and that was it. So it's definitely made pushing really hard, which kind of it makes me always want to get the exact right engage, because you know that the game's going to be won on a team fight. And so like I used Endurance of Hate in the beginning of the game a ton as a disengage, just because I knew we didn't want to get caught, and it's kind of hard to land it on their team. But my thought was always, and you saw it in the second game, that we're kind of, when we were on the shrine, is that we're kind of kiting out, and then we get a good turn and we get to blow somebody up. And so I was hoping that we would be kiting out, we'd get a good Durance, we'd get like 2 or 3 of a minute, and then I could just port back in and everyone else would just follow, and we could kind of like blow up 1 or 2 people, and that's how we would win the fight. Which is kind of what happened on the camp. They were just sitting on the camp instead.
Yeah, and when you popped in, the fact that they didn't leave just gave your team a great opportunity to come in. So that second game, the objectives, y'all won all 4 objectives, right?
Yes.
So, I mean, that speaks for itself. Again, they didn't want to take fights. Y'all had the XP lead going in the whole time. So, I mean...
And it's really hard. Like, how do you win a shrine into Junkrat Tychus? Like, that's really, really difficult.
I don't know.
I think their best chance was...
Tychus, so I'm also a terrible
You just press D.
Just press right.
Oh, and Junkrat, you just press
let
Q.
me look at talents real quick. We did not take Into the Rhythm. We took the Bigger They Are. So, I don't know. I don't know how to answer your question, because I am terrible at 3 of the 5 heroes y'all drafted.
Well, I hope we put on enough of a clinic that you're gonna, really wreck Storm League next time you step in there with them.
Absolutely, unless other people from NGS queue against me, which happened today, and that did not go in my favor. sOaK,
Right.
what you got?
I just want to. You mentioned Storm League here, and I want to hear more about the tank play and the rotation denial that you had in both games. I mean, game number 1, Mal'Ganis was mounted almost the entirety of the first 7 minutes, and that was beautiful. And then continuing into game 2, where ETC just lived in that bush. You guys got so many kills in that same bush. What message do you have at home for young players or new tank players who are trying to control the map like that?
I mean, I'm so glad that you called it up, because Philip did a astoundingly good job. Like, that was absolutely perfect play. Yeah, I mean, just controlling vision and letting the DPS kind of rotate safely in lane, because in the first game, right, when he's controlling the vision, it lets us sOaK, it lets us clear the lanes earlier, and then as we clear the lanes earlier, he can always take a look at the rotating Ana or the rotating Jaina. So if you notice in game 1, there were a lot of times when Jaina or Ana were in the middle lane, and they couldn't rotate up because they couldn't get past Mal'Ganis, and so it slows down their rotation, it splits their team up, it gives you opportunities for kills. And then in the second game, yeah, I mean, all we were looking for was engages out of bushes, engages with the traps and the boops from Junkrat. So it was really just they had to play so scared, because they never knew where our tank was, and if they can't see our tank, they don't know how to rotate, because it makes rotating so much slower. And then that's kind of how you end up with a really good macro play too.
Yeah, Tornado, I want you to please tell Philip that I haven't been so excited about rotation denial since I was watching HGC games. That was amazing play there. I
Oh
mean,
my
and
gosh.
the rest of your team did a great job capitalizing on that. But that is how a tank holds a bush, and I was in love. I have a new
Yeah.
crush.
Right? That was so great. Yeah, I'm really, really excited about it. I'm really excited about the rest of the season based on kind of some things that we put together because we're not the most best team fight team, but I think that our team fights in game two were unbelievably smooth and clean, and we only had one kind of sloppy team fight in mid lane.
So, you're coming off a rough week last week. You got a big sweep this week. How are you feeling going into the rest of the season?
Really good. I think that like Thursday was a little rough, and we didn't really know. I think everyone was a little frustrated. I think we screwed up some drafts, which is on me for sure. And I think our play was a little bit lackluster. But we all talked about it as a team, and I think that that's the best part of our team is that we all like each other, and we knew something wasn't working, and so we all kind of talked it out and figured out how we could make everyone have fun because that's what this is all about, and that's why we play. And so Wipeout got to play some more offlane tonight, and Philip got to play some tank, and I'll probably get to play some healer, and Struge will get to play some DPS, and it's just making sure that everyone's having fun. And I think when everyone's having fun, everyone plays a lot better too.
Well, that's good. What team still on your roster or are you concerned about?
Ooh, this is more of a DM and Wipeout question because they've been looking at the other teams. But I know that there are other teams in B-West that we have played in previous seasons, and I really like the really slow, long multi-season rivalry. Specifically, players I can think of. I just fizzed, who I don't think is in B anymore, and B Train always beats us in the playoffs. So hopefully we'll get to beat B Train's team, whoever that is.
All right. Well, we'll be looking out for it. Let me hear your shout outs.
My teammates, so much fun. I think the other team played really well, and I was really excited. And I think that we had good matches, even if they were not the most team fight brawler heavy. If y'all ever want to cast some brawls of ours, I'm sure we'll be around.
All right.
And then all the moms on Mother's Day. What
There
a
you
nice
go.
day
It
for
is
some
Mother's
hops.
Day. And special shout out to Valk's mom. In case Valk's mom is watching. It's an NGS meme, and we got to keep it alive. I'm new here. I just got to keep the memes alive.